welcome to my kitchen. Last week I went to the grocery store and I asked if I could find this. It was nowhere on the shelves to be found. They hadn't arrived yet. But I found this, and I'm going to show you how to cook it in your pressure cooker. Now, opening up a can of pumpkin filling is really easy, but do you really know what's inside of it? It says 100% pumpkin, but there could also be other squashes inside, like sweet potato or some butternut squash. And if you don't have access to this particular kind of pumpkin, which is a sugar pumpkin or a pie pumpkin, you can also use sweet potato or a butternut squash. This particular brand of pumpkin pie filling, puree, whatever you want to call it, it says 100% pure. They grow their own variety of pumpkin. So anyway, but I have found that cooking this in your pressure cooker is really fast and really easy. If you use a stove, it could take 20 minutes. If you use the oven, it could take up to an hour. And get this, if you cook this in the microwave, it could take up to a half an hour just to cook a pumpkin. Now you may be wondering, why can't I just use a regular jack-o'-lantern pumpkin? Well, you can, but it's really stringy and really watery, and you have to do a lot of straining with it. So I encourage you to find a pie pumpkin. Hey, some people have said they find cutting into squash or pumpkins a challenge. So I have a couple of tips for you. First, use a long serrated bread knife. That will help. And second, you might want to use a lower countertop, depending on how tall you are. This will give you a little bit more leverage. So here we go. We're going to cut this pumpkin in half. This is a clean and washed pumpkin ready to cook. Right here. Just push right through using the weight. Cut it. I'm going to cut it into a couple of pieces. Put this down flat. Just start with the serrated and then push down. You'll find that it slices pretty easily. Let me cut this one more time. This sugar pumpkin or pie pumpkin has a really meaty texture. Next thing I want to do is remove the pumpkin seeds and the string. I use an ice cream scoop for this, which makes it very simple and easy. Now some of you may have heard that you can cook your pumpkin whole in your pressure cooker. While that is true, it takes a little bit longer time, and it will take a little bit longer for it to cool down in order for you to scrape out these seeds. Also, if you choose to do your pumpkin whole, I'm not sure if these seeds would be ready to be roasted or not. I haven't tried that yet. So, just go ahead and scrape out all the seeds in your pumpkin. Okay, it's only taken me a couple of minutes to scrape out the seeds and the stringy part of the pumpkin. The sharp edge of this ice cream scoop really helps a lot. Okay, next, I have my pressure cooker with the trivet or rack inside. I'm going to put 1 cup of water in. My pumpkin pieces rind side down. Pumpkin here in my pressure cooker. Put the lid on, make sure it's set to sealing, and set it for high pressure for 10 minutes. Set it on high pressure for 10 minutes. There you go. While my pumpkin was cooking in the pressure cooker, I took the seeds and put them in a bowl of water and ran my fingers through them, taking the strings out, then rinsed them, and then put them on a paper towel to dry. This way you can use these seeds and plant them for next year, or you can roast them and use them as a great snack. My 10 minutes are up, and I'm going to do a quick release, which is simply moving this lever from sealing to venting or opening the pressure valve. Once the valve is dropped, you can open up your pressure cooker. It's a good idea to check and make sure your pumpkin is completely done by using a fork. If it goes in easily, it's cooked. Nice and soft, fully cooked. Want to remove the pumpkin and put it on a plate so we can scoop out the meat. It's very simple to scoop out the meat. You can see the skin is already pulled away, and just using a spoon, you can put it into a food processor. You can use a hand mixer, a stand blender, anything you want to puree this smooth. See how cleanly this pumpkin has come from the skin. It scrapes very, very easily. Okay, what I want to do next is blend it in my food processor. Just takes a few pulses. Make sure it's completely smooth. Doesn't that look beautiful? My pumpkin puree right away for my baked goods. I like to freeze my pumpkin puree so I can use it for Thanksgiving, which is about a month from now. And what I do is I label my freezer bag, stick it inside of a cup, invert the rim, and measure the pumpkin according to my recipe. And there I have 1.5 cups in my plastic bag. Just tap it down. Want to smooth some of the air out of it. Flatten it. And there you have delicious pumpkin puree, ready to freeze, ready to use for your Thanksgiving pumpkin pie or any of your favorite pumpkin baked goodies. There you have it, fresh pumpkin puree in just a matter of minutes. I started with a 1.5 pound sugar or pie pumpkin, cut it up, took the seeds out, and put it in my pressure cooker with 1 cup of water and set the timer for 10 minutes with a quick release. Then I scooped all the meat out and put it in a food processor and blended it smooth. Which would you rather have? This or this?